disability. A learning disability is a neurological disorder that affects the brain's ability to receive, process, store, and respond to information. The term learning disability is used to describe the seemingly unexplained difficulty a person of at least average intelligence has in acquiring basic academic skills. So learning disabilities are disorders that affect the ability to understand or use spoken or written language, do mathematical calculations, coordinate movements, or direct attention. Although learning disabilities occur in very young children, the disorders are usually not recognized until the child reaches school age. So there are types of learning disability. The first type of learning disability is dyscalculia. Dyscalculia is a specific learning disability that affects a person's disability to understand the numbers and learn math facts. The second one is dysgraphia, a specific learning disability that affects a person's handwriting ability to find motor skill. And the third one is dyslexia. Dyslexia is a specific learning disability that affects reading and related language-based processing skills. Fourth one is the nonverbal learning disability. Nonverbal learning disability has trouble interrupting nonverbal cues like facial expressions or body language and may have poor coordination. The fifth one is oral written language disorder and specific reading comprehension deficit. Learning disabilities that affects an individual understanding of what they read or of spoken language. The ability to express oneself with oral language may also be impacted. So there are related disorders in learning disabilities. The first related disorder is ADHD. This is a disorder that includes the difficulty on staying focused and paying attention, controlling behavior, and hyperactivity. The second one is dyspraxia. Dyspraxia is a disorder which causes problems with movement and coordination, language, and speech. So the third one is executive functioning. This is the last one related disorder. It affects planning, organization, strategizing, attention to details, and managing time and space. So the next one, let's move to the prevalence of the learning disability. The lifetime prevalence of learning disability in US children is 9.7%. Although prevalence is learning disability is lower among average developing children, 5.4%, it is still affected 2.7 million children compared with 3.3 million or 27.8% children with special health care needs.
Characteristic of learning disabilities. The following is a list of common characteristics of learning disabilities. Student condition must be persistent over a long-term period. Presence of this condition does not necessarily mean a person is learning disabled. And here are the other learning disabilities. Reading skills, poor decoding skills, poor reading fluency, slow reading rate, lack of self-monitoring reading skill, poor comprehension and retention, difficulty identifying important ideas in a context, extreme difficulty building ideas and images, difficulty integrating new ideas to existing knowledge, weak vocabulary skill, extreme difficulty understanding words or grammar, difficulty recognizing high-frequency words, oral comprehension is noticeably stronger than the reading comprehension, extreme difficulty focusing attention on the printed materials, difficulty controlling eye movement across the page, wavy or shimmering page not attributable to poor vision, spelling skills, phonological awareness is noticeably stronger than the spelling ability. Frequent spelling errors of high-frequency words, extreme difficulty with homonyms and regular spelling patterns, no understanding of relationship of phonics to written language, no understanding of common spelling rules, inadequate understanding of phonics even with instruction, written expression skills, poor writing fluency, unable to compose complete grammatical sentences, difficulty organizing written information, poor handwriting, extremely poor alignment, inability to take notes or copy information from a book or the board. Oral expression is noticeably stronger than written expression, extremely weak proofreading skills. Oral language skills, inability to hear small differences between sounds, not attributable to the hearing loss, particularly vowel sounds. Difficulty articulating thoughts or ideas orally. Difficulty pronouncing words, inability to blend sound together to form words, difficulty listening and responding to a series of directions, and the last is disorganized recall of the facts or details.
Causes of learning disabilities. Learning disabilities are caused by something affecting the development of the brain. This may occur before the birth, prenatally, during birth, or in early childhood. Learning disabilities can be caused by any one of variety of factors or by a combination. Sometimes, the specific cause is not known. Possible cause including the following. An inherited condition, meaning that certain genes passed from the parents affected the brain development. For example, Fragile X. Chromosomes abnormalities such as Down syndromes or Turner syndromes. Complications during the birth resulting in a lack of oxygen to the brain. A very premature birth. Mother's illness during pregnancy. The mother drinking during pregnancy, for example, fetal alcohol syndrome. A debilitating illness or injury in early childhood affecting the brain development. For example, a road traffic accident or a child abuse. Contact with damaging material like radiation. Neglect and or a lack of mental stimulation in early in life. Some people with learning disabilities have the additionally physical disabilities and or sensory impairment. Treatment of learning disabilities. Learning disabilities have no cure, but early intervention can lessen their effects. People with learning disabilities can develop ways to cope with their disabilities. Getting help earlier increases the chance of success in school and later in life. If learning disabilities remain untreated, a child may begin to feel frustrated, which can lead to low self-esteem and any other problems. Number 1, experts can help a child learn skills by building on the child's strength and finding ways to compensate for the child's weaknesses. And number 2, interventions vary depending on the nature of extent of the disability.
So these are the classroom strategies for students with special needs. So number 1, we have here provide oral instruction for students with reading disabilities. Number 2, present test and reading materials in an oral format so the assessment is not unduly influenced by lack of reading ability. Number 3, provide learning disabled students with frequent progress checks and let them know how well they are progressing towards an individual or class goal. The next one, give immediate feedback to teach disabled students. They also need to see quickly relationship between what was taught and what was learned. Next, make activities concise and short whenever possible. Long, drawn-out projects are particularly frustrating for learner-disabled child. Learning disabled youngsters have difficulty learning abstract terms and concepts. Whenever possible, provide them with the concrete objects and events, items that they can touch, hear, and smell. For the next one, learning disabled students need and should get a lot of specific phrase. Instead of just saying, "You did it well," or "I like your work," be sure you provide specific phrasing comments that link the activity directly with the recognition. Second to the last, when necessary, plan to repeat instruction or offer information in both written and verbal formats. Again, it is vitally necessary that learning disabled children or the students utilize as many of their sensory modalities as possible. Lastly, encourage cooperative learning activities when possible. Invite students of varying activities to work together on a specific project or toward a common goal. Create an atmosphere in which a true community of learners is facilitated and enhanced.